Sir, the doors. What are your orders? There are people out there that... they're seeking refuge, sir.
Please! Just my wife! My wife! Don't leave us out here! Please! Please, we're getting ripped apart out here!
Oh, door. We know not what lurks in the depths of Batovia. It may very well never see the light of day again. Sir, those are my orders, Captain. Yes.
No! Open those doors! Open them back up! Damn you! You cowards! You kill us all! Get off of her! Get off of her! Please! Please open the door!
My name is Keen Decker, and I'm here to invite you to an evening not like most others. An evening where 4 streamers are pitted up against one another in hopes for fame and fortune. Will one streamer rise to the top and unlock fortunes like no other? Or will they all fall victim to the horrors of Marth's Dungeon?
Michael is gonna give the intro while I get my camera set up. Good luck.
Okay, welcome back to Marth's Dungeon, everyone. Patreons, and if you do exclamation point Patreon, we're back here, following Atlas, Look Down, and Valorizzi, the Rizman himself. Keen's fixing his camera, and we're about to have a lot of fun, as you heard in that intro. You see, all that trauma, all that buildup, nah, we're not capitalizing on that. We're having a great time.
All right, I love it. Let's go. Intro. W intro, chat. W intro. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Marth's Dungeon. We last left off with a couple of different things happening. Definitely no traumatic things whatsoever. Everybody was perfectly happy at the end of the episode. But there was this nice little thing in Reddish where everybody kind of set out on their own adventure with each other. Alice is off to go do her job, and she's bringing Look Down as well as Valorizzi. Valorizzi is actually going to be able to get to see outside of Reddish for the first time in his life. And on the reverse side, we had the rest of the party doing actually quite a few different things. But in the end, Marth and Pivid ended up helping out Kai Alder and saving half of his Chaos Knights that were heavily corrupted. The other half were just not even close to being salvageable in a sense, and needed to be put down. But as they were leaving the King's Coven, they spotted out Marth's family home burning, which sent him kind of on a blind frenzy-ish rage. He reeled himself in a little bit, but left a nice little note for Eldrin. And we are going to start off with Look Down, Valorizzi, and Alice. You have all been traveling. Let me get the music on here. Music. Activate. You have all been traveling for quite some time. You are actually pretty close to Trell, kind of on the map. It's pretty close to you westward from Reddish. So you've been traveling on foot, and kind of just it took you probably about a day and a half just on foot travel just to get to the borders of Trell here. And as you let me zoom out here, get to the borders of Trell, you see that there is indeed a massive gate and wall, kind of keeping the capital city Vipint nice and safe. And there's quite a few guards kind of stationed along the wall here. And you kind of just kind of creep up to the wall as close as possible while trying not to be detected. And Valrizzi kind of along the way has been kind of taking in the scenery and really enjoying it. He's like kind of blown away by the life that is kind of outside of Reddish. There's just kind of like very beautiful tropical scene as you have been getting closer and closer to Trell. But you all start kind of approaching this wall, and Valrizzi starts to notice that you guys are kind of slowing down and looking things over and being a lot more cautious and stealthy. And he kind of just looks over to you, Alice. And he's like,
Everything okay?
Alice is not gonna look back and just keep going and just say quickly, yeah, everything's fine.
Just subscribe.
Yeah, okay. What is it that we gotta be, that we're doing here?
You know, things and stuff. Things that usually bring me outside the wall.
Yeah, I guess I've been just wondering what your dad has you kind of doing out here. It's gotta be pretty important.
Yeah, it pretty much is. Yep.
and you kind of just like half-heartedly gesturing his comments as you're just kind of inspecting this wall. And give me just like a general observation check.
Both of us or just her?
Yeah, you two look down.
I got a 12.
Oh boy, I got a 16.
16, okay. So both of you do kind of notice that there is this very large wall here. This wall is actually about 40 feet tall, and the drop over here, just sheer cliff down, is about 50 feet down. The only entrance to through this wall that you can kind of see for as long and as far as the eye can tell you is this main gate entrance. There is a
facing into the city.
What's that?
There's a ballista facing into the city.
Yes.
What the fuck?
You never know when those citizens are gonna get a little bit too rowdy. You gotta put them down.
I guess, but
let me put it to you this way: they have not been concerned about anything that's really been coming through this wall for a good while. You can even see just with your observation check specifically, look down, that these guards are pretty relaxed. Like, they don't seem to be like very alert, kind of standing guard. I don't know why that one's on top of the other one, but they're really not on guard. Jeez. Oh boy.
Really relaxed.
Jeez. Doing a little wrestling
not
there.
much. Yeah, I was saying, not much does happen here, I guess.
Along this this left side here, you do see that there's a small, just kind of fraction of a cliff that travels alongside the wall.
Wow. Wow.
So,
you scaled bigger, right?
What's that?
I said you scaled bigger, right?
Yeah. I mean, you went up Castle Solia. You're good. Valrizzi is just like,
all right, so, we just go through the front door, yeah?
Alice is just gonna keep walking.
walking towards the gate.
Walking towards just walking in a general direction. That could be either or.
It's just kind of around, okay.
Yeah.
I can knock.
You might not have to knock. We could probably call one down from up here. We could do that in Reddish. They should be able to hear us from up there.
I was just gonna turn to Rizzy and say to him, yeah, sure. You could just, just state what you're doing here. We're just visiting on a little business, just meeting some people and then leaving.
We just got him, and you're trying to kill him. All right.
And Valrizzi like kind of steps forward. He's like, "Yeah, is there? Who are we specifically here to see?"
I don't even know if he's here or not, honestly. Like, it was just last I heard he was here. They probably wouldn't know him.
Okay. And who is he?
It wouldn't even matter. Just say we're here to meet someone we heard that was here. We're just here like meet our friend or whatever. Just something along those lines. I mean, it's true. We're here to meet someone.
Valrizzi's just like,
all right. Yeah.
Use that charm, that reddish charm.
Yep. Let me work the Valrizzi here.
and then he like kind of like pops his collar a little bit. He's like,
listen, I work well on vague details. I'll be able to make this work.
and he takes like a step forward very confidently towards the gate, and he gets probably about right here, and you see just like one of these guards immediately like run up to the wall, and he motions to the other men. He's like, "There's someone here! There's someone at the gate!" And like very excitedly almost, in the fact that they're like, "Oh my god, what?" There's a bunch of these guards that kind of just run right up to the wall here, and they all spy Valrizzi kind of approaching, and they start to get like very very on guard. It looks like they are ready to kind of do whatever they need to do at this person approaching. They're just kind of spying him and eyeing him over just to make sure he's probably not going to be a threat. And he gets about here before one guard kind of steps forward and grabs the edge of the wall and says, "Halt! No entry into Trell. State your business. Why are you here?" And Valrizzi just gives him like one of those quick little, "Hey." Just like a quick little like hand in the air. "Yo." And he's just he says, "We're just here to we're here to meet somebody. Me and my friends here." And he kind of like looks back. And are you two just kind of standing out in the open?
I would have moved towards the tree.
Okay.
As just cover from that far.
So probably this one here. Look down. What would you like to do?
I'm just chilling. Out in the open. Because unless Alice says something, I'm just confused because two people just went in two very different directions and I don't know which to do.
And he just like kind of looks around and sees only Look down. He says, "You said friends. Where's the other one?"
Oh, she's probably just, I don't know. She's silly. She's here somewhere. Don't worry about it. So anyways, if you just want to lift up the gates and, I'll make it worth your while.
And he kind of just like reaches in his pocket and like has like a couple of like things of gold in his hand. And the guard kind of just like steps back from the wall and looks over to his other men. And one of these men kind of just run to the stairs and disappears. Goes down the stairs. And he leans over the wall and says, "Wait here." And he just he has like a big smile on his face. He's like,
Perfect. Thank you very much. I'll reconvene with my friends and I'll bring him right to the gate, huh?
and the men don't answer him. And he kind of just turns around and heads right back over to look down. And
He's like, hey, where's Alice?
I just look over where Alice went.
Hey, Findle.
and he like goes over to the tree here.
Listen, I've never seen you so sheepish before. You don't get cold feet now. Is it you here to meet a crush?
What did they say to you at the gate?
Not much. One of them said, wait here. I said I'd go get my friends.
Alice is like looking down and saying, why did I bring him?
You're stealing thunder right now.
I know, right? What the fuck?
Why did I bring him? Alice is gonna look down back at Valrizzi and say, friends, did you say how many were with you? Who was with you?
Oh yeah, he assumed that there were multiple here. So I told him there was one other one, you obviously, and that I'd go find you. Yeah, there's two of you.
And he kind of just like pats his jacket, kind of reaching for like a smoke shroom, and he doesn't have any left, and he just like he looks over to you, Alice. He's like, oh man, I'm dry. You got any smokes on you?
No, not really. Anyways, I wish you wouldn't have said that you had friends with you.
What? What do you mean?
Alice is just gonna disregard what he said, everything, and just go, okay, so here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna go over, say, this was also a misunderstanding, and then you're gonna walk down and past, like your friends left.
You know, hold on, look, that she's giving me one of these things called a mixed signal. I have no idea what you're talking about. Didn't you want us to get inside the wall?
Yeah, I honestly just thought that they would just shut you out, but you really rizzied it up. So, so I'm gonna need you to go back, say it was a misunderstanding. Your friends, that you were leaving with your friends.
Val Rizzi kind of like steps forward and almost in a sense of like, when you were younger, I'm sure your parents probably asked you to do something that you really, really didn't want to do, after you did something prior. And you're like, man, I please don't make me do this. I really, really don't. And he kind of gives you like that face where he's like,
can't we just like, I don't see what the big deal is.
Alice is just gonna say, man, I wish we would have passed like a village or something on our way over here, and then I could have just dropped you guys off. That would have been way easier, honestly. Huh.
Look down, starts walking towards the door.
Oh no.
Yeah, El Doozy, if you just want to like,
you just keep walking, and you go right up to the door.
Yeah.
As you get kind of closer to the door, the men see you approach, and they start getting kind of more and more interested in what you're doing. Are you stopping at a certain point, or are you headed right to the gate?
I just keep walking. I don't even take note that they're looking at me. I just keep on.
You get probably right about here, And the guy once again comes over to the side of the wall and says, "Hey! I thought I told you to wait!"
Look down, looks up at him. Well, sorry, does like a turn to try to look up at him.
Just wait right
What?
there.
Look down, looks down. Okay. And then just waits there. Does say need in.
No, we're figuring that out. And he says like, just wait until Sir Burdame gets here.
Okay.
And
then look down, just stands there.
after a little bit, the soldier kind of reappears with a very stoic Tom Cruise looking knight who gets up to the wall and looks over to you, look down, and says, "Who are you?"
L Doozy.
And one of his men just kind of starts cracking up a little bit, and he gives him a very serious, like, death-like glare, and he stops immediately. And he looks down to you again and says, "No one gets inside Vipin. So go back to wherever it was you're from. Where are you from?"
So
From a castle. You Patovian?
I don't know.
All right, we got ourselves a freak show here. Listen, if you don't back away from the wall, then you're gonna find yourself in a world of pain in just a couple of seconds. So I suggest you leave.
Nothing new. Need in.
And he says, "I'm warning you one last time. If you don't back away from that wall, in just a couple of seconds, me and my men are coming down."
Okay.
And
I don't move.
he nods to his soldiers here, and they whoop, 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 whoop.
Is coming down another relative?
Distant, yeah, for sure.
It's from the other family. It's from the family part of the family we don't talk about.
And all these men head right down and through. Actually, I shouldn't have done that. I should just grab them all and just bring them down.
I mean, they're gonna open the door to come out to see me, right? So like,
They are
objective
indeed.
complete.
They the gate kind of swings right open, and these men stand right in front of the gate here, kind of at the ready to they look like they're being very aggressive. Look down. They look like they're about to kind of just jump you.
Oh God.
Look, all I'm saying is that I am making a perfect distraction if y'all want to do something in the meantime.
What do we think, Alice? What do you want to do?
Alice is gonna be mid talking to Rizzy, saying, "Man, this was a mistake," yada yada yada, and then out of nowhere, just go, "Wait, where did Look Down go?"
He went up to the gate. What do you mean? Look, the guys are
and
letting
then
us in
she's-
now.
Alice is gonna put her hand on her forehead and just rub it and like, God.
Listen,
Don't tell them I'm here with you. No. Don't tell them I'm here with you. You can go see what they're saying. What's that all about? If they tell you to turn away, just turn away. Make camp a little down the way where we came, and I'll be back. But just take care of him, and take care of yourself in case something. I don't know. These soldiers and their egos, I swear. And then she's gonna start walking towards the side.
God. You kind of start walking this way, and give me a stealth check as you're walking that way.
15.
Okay. And then let me just very quickly.
I got him distracted. Does that help anyway?
I'm gonna say it's definitely gonna help. I'm gonna have them roll with disadvantage. Okay, the first one, that's not good, but the second one's a 17. You kind of start just walking off to the side here, Alice, and they notice that there is indeed two of you. They don't immediately kind of point it out. Maybe one or two of these soldiers kind of pinpoint you, and as you come out of the tree, and Valrizzi kind of just like starts walking forward.
He says, "Take care of him. Take care of yourself." Jeez, I just.
And he gets like closer and closer. And these men too start kind of like walking towards Valrizzi and look down. And they're kind of just like slowly creeping up with their weapons drawn at their sides. And Valrizzi notices this and kind of just like halts. And
He says, "Sorry, guys. It was a big mistake. We actually don't need to get into the city. So you guys just go back in. And we don't want no trouble, okay? We've seen quite a fair bit of trouble out there, so we don't need any trouble with you guys, okay? We just had a meeting with somebody, and we wanted to get into the city."
And Burdame just kind of, a couple of them look up to Burdame, and he kind of just gives a command for the men to stand on guard. And he says, "Get lost." And Valrizzi kind of like, he begins turning around, and look down. I'm assuming you probably might not.
Yeah, I'm just chilling.
Jeez, Aldouzi, we gotta get out of here.
Why?
These guys are, apparently they don't want us here. I thought that maybe Alice would have told them that, I should have name dropped her. You're right. Jeez, God, what was I thinking?
he's just like,
Hey, does it help if I let you know who we are?
and Burdame's just like, "I told you to get out. Out means out. I don't care who you are at this point. Don't come anywhere near this city again."
Sheesh. Okay. Yeah, Aldouzi, we gotta get out of here.
Rude as fuck. I go with Valrizzi.
Perfect. You two kind of turn around here, and Alice, you've been kind of like heading along the side here for a wee bit, and a couple of the soldiers are just kind of watching you. Give me an observation check.
Oh, 17.
Good.
You notice that a couple of them are indeed watching you.
I turn around.
You start heading out, and just don't look suspicious. You kind of reconvene further away from the gates here, and Valrzy comes right up to you, Alice. And he's like,
What the hell? What? Why didn't you tell me we weren't supposed to be here?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know.
Gee, we just left Reddish. I don't want to come back to Reddish too.
I mean, Alice is just gonna be like half shrugging with her arms at her side, with her little everything cloaked by her cloak. Nask, you just said, yeah, I don't know. I wanted to see if the charm worked or not. I don't know.
I mean, the charm
Either way,
certainly
I gotta
worked. It
go.
got their attention. Okay.
Well, let us in.
Yeah, we gotta sneak in.
and as you
Okay.
are you walking away a little bit, just to get a little bit further away from these guys?
Yeah,
Break
but
division.
more towards the water.
Okay. So
This
in around
cliff.
here. Just around the corner. It's like fairly obscured. Around here, you have like kind of like a couple of trees, so you're far enough to kind of be out of eyesight at the moment.
So, mission accomplished?
No, I gotta get in there.
Jeez,
Uh,
Vindel, what do you have to do in there?
I gotta go in there.
Um, what?
What are you asking?
Mission.
Oh, complete. Yeah, it means yeah, complete.
I can't. No. Look down, just tilts his head because it's not the word he used.
Oh, accomplished. And Valrizi's just kind of like sits in like the half like sand, half grass here, and just kind of kicks his shoes off and relaxes a little bit. And he says,
Well, I guess we're just waiting then.
So nighttime, yeah. Unless you guys want to make another distraction.
Do I want to make another distraction? I don't even know what I'm doing here.
You could make a distraction. That would be what you would be doing here.
Oh, jeez.
and give me just like a quick observation check.
Both or her?
Yeah, everybody. I'm gonna have.
I always get higher rolls when it's not that life or death pending. And it makes me upset. Because I rolled an 18. But if I have to fight someone, it's like, oh, nah, you don't hit.
4.
Nah, 4, 5, 2.
So
Fucking same.
you kind of hear just like a rustling in this tree over here.
Antarctic Flow just subscribed. Marth's $1 hype.
And Valrizi also kind of hears it. It seems like it, what did you roll, Looked on?
10.
So you all indeed do hear this. And you all just kind of like look over and none other than
Oh, God.
guess who? Guess who?
Oh no.
Bavelli.
The great Bavelli falls from the tree and onto the ground. And
Have we missed him?
he kind of bumps his butt on the way down very ungracefully and says, "Oh, I was
I was scouting out the area. I was never been this far west before.
Hi.
Oh, hello. It's the little thief and his friends. How are we doing? You know this guy?
Wait, we're all thieves here. Wait. Yes.
Okay. Nice to meet you. The name's Val Findle. And he goes to, like, reaches his hand out to Veli. Oh, sorry,
I was like, wow.
Oh!
Whoa.
Oh, no. He's,
Whoa.
oh, man.
What is he doing?
Woo! He's putting on the moves.
I'm like, is he lying? Like, what's going on here?
The gauntlet is thrown.
Valrizzi
Nah,
has a gun.
no. He said Findle, roll with him.
Freudian slip in.
And Baveli shakes his hand, and he says, "No, I don't think it is." And I'm the great Baveli. But it's good to see you all here again. What brings you to Trell? I don't know. Miss Findle over here said that she had some business here, and she's being very cryptic about it, so I'm not entirely sure. You wish to gain access to the city?
Alice is gonna be what I'm seeing as she's sitting on the floor and she's just like with her knees up, leaning back on her hands, and then she's just gonna lean her head back towards Pavelli and go, "Yep."
Well. Perhaps I might be able to assist you.
Alice is just gonna raise an eyebrow.
On certain conditions, I suppose. I just need you to pay back what is owed to me. Perhaps buy something too.
Pay back what is owed to you.
This one here, he owes me 1,000 gold. And he looks over to look down.
He owes you what?
He has some of my merchandise, a certain ice dragon thing.
What?
And like Valrizzi gets like a little like defensive. He's like, "Hey, Bozo, you trying to convince me that Look Down El Doozy here took something from you?"
I look down.
Not trying to convince you. You can see it for yourself. And he kind of just points to the dragon fang.
I lift it up and just say, "You gave me."
No. I lent it to you for just a second, but you have to pay for it. You have to give me something in return.
Why?
And he opens his eyes. Because I said so. It's how things work. I'm a trader. I like to sell things to other people. It's how I make a living. You
Alice
beat
is
people's
not-
faces in, and he just kind of like looks at all of you, and I trade things to people.
Look down is confused.
Alice isn't gonna say anything. She's just gonna get up and put 1,000 gold in his hand.
And you could just see as you're walking forward that he's like just getting a little bit agitated, and you put the money in his hand, and then immediately just from like the wide-eyed to like close-eyed and just a quick smile and says, "Oh, thank you," and he puts it in his
That's
pocket.
bullshit, and you know it.
What do you mean?
He gave it to me! I didn't ask for it! I was perfectly fine trying to find a giant metal construct with my bare hands! He gave it to me! This is bullshit! I don't owe him anything!
I don't know. Look down sounding kind of overly coherent right now. Cry out against God or something. I don't know.
And he kind of just like puts the gold in his pocket and he says, well, you see, I can get you over the wall. Just, would you like to do it the easy way or the hard way?
Which one's the fastest?
Perhaps, the hard way.
Is it gonna be done in trips, or is it gonna be one at a time, or is it all three of us at the same time?
It'll be one of you, and then I will be able to let the rest of you in. The hard way is and he kind of just like looks over to the side of the wall here. And he just like points over like right about here. And he says, you did a good job throwing the guards away from the side portions of the wall. It seems that their attention is pretty directed toward the front gate. There is a couple of areas you can get up from on the side. It is a bit dangerous, though.
Alice is gonna say, "All right, let's go." That means distraction boy. You're up again.
And Val Rizzi's just like, oh jeez, okay. Oh my god.
Do you want to scale the side first?
And he looks over to see the massive 50-foot drop on the cliff, as well as the 40-foot wall. And he says, yeah, I guess not. I don't have many calluses on my hand. I'm not built for that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks over to Bavelli. He's like, you got any good plans? And
Oh god.
Bavelli's just like, oh yeah, sure, follow me. And Bavelli confidently walks out in the open here. And Rizzi just kind of follows closely behind him. And he kind of starts approaching. The guards immediately get like very, very kind of defensive. And but they see who kind of starts to walk closer and closer towards the wall. And they start to ease up. And Burdame looks over the wall to see Bavelli and says, ah, Bavelli! You visiting Trell? And Bavelli just kind of like gives him a quick little wave and says, oh, yes, of course. This is my friend here. He's, I hope he didn't cause you too much confusion or trouble. He's my stepson. And, like,
Amazing.
Rizzi just gives him, like, a cute little smile. Like, one of those innocent smiles. Well, you should have said so. Come right in. We'll let you through. And the guards kind of split. And Bavelli kind of starts walking through and starts talking to the guards as he's going through and really just kind of like getting their attention. And Burdame kind of like shouts down from the edge. He said, "Where's the other two that you were along with?" And Bavelli looks over to look down. He says, "Oh, come right with me." And he like shouts down this way towards you.
Whew.
I'm assuming you're kind of.
That was
like,
a long.
It is a long shout.
He's very loud.
He has a great voice, along with his great Pavelli.
Haunts my nightmares. Look down and just looks at Alice.
Alice just nods and says, "Go."
Look down, yeah. You already know.
It starts to head over.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you for being so accommodating, gentlemen. If you don't mind, I have a couple of things in my bags that I need to share with some of these sellers here. So if you wouldn't mind helping me escort some things. And Burdame kind of smiles. He says, "Anything for you, Babelli. Don't worry about it." Men, and everybody starts kind of going into Trell. Right into Vipin. Alongside Bavelli, look down, and Rizzy. And Burdame kind of steps back off the wall and goes back down the stairs.
Oh, heck yeah.
And welcome to Vipin's. This is a little bit of the city. This is just like the very beginning of the city. There's you can kind of see as you step in, look down. There's like a very large kind of just residential district with a bunch of houses, common houses, alongside the wall. There are some areas that you've kind of seen similar structural design to in films. There's quite a few churches, as well as some shops down this way, like a beach over here. And as you kind of look down this road, it's pretty far down, you see that there's a kind of a main road that just leads out.
Oh, sorry you said down so many times. I was so...
down.
Yeah.
Bavelli kind of starts handing things off to some of these gentlemen and starts kind of letting them know that this delivery is going to this specific person in downtown. This one is going to just like the butcher. It seems like he's gathered a lot of things for these people, and they seem all very just incredibly happy. And Valrizy kind of just gets closer to you here, and he just like looks around and he's like, I've never been in a place so pretty before.
I have been... Well... Maze was pretty.
And as you are talking to one another, these guards start heading off in various directions with all their goods, most of them heading down that main road. And they disappear. And Bavelli turns back over to you and looks at both of you and says, Well. I think things worked out for both of us today, huh? I made quite a lot of money, and you guys get to see the city. I hope you are on your best behavior. No?
Okay.
And Bavelli kind of just goes over to the wall and just leans up. He says, Enjoy your stay.
What about the Findle girl? She's got to get into the city too, huh?
Oh, she will. I'll make sure of it. And he heads in and upwards.
Starting to wonder why he even offered the other option. Be a dick. Yeah, I was say like, what's the quickest way? Climb it.
Yeah, climb it.
All right. This feels like it was the quickest way.
Alice likes this option. Alice is really much a fan of the climbing option.
Alice, you notice that everybody is very much so kind of just cleared off the wall. What would you like to do?
Go towards the wall to go climb it.
Perfect. So you head over to this area, the wall, and you notice that there's not a ton of room to kind of sidle up against the wall here. There's kind of just enough for you since you are very, very skinny. But the other two guys probably wouldn't have a very easy time being able to stay on this the side of this cliff. Look down would be able to kind of just dig his way in, but you know for a fact that Val Rizzi very much not so. You start kind of sidling across the side here. And as you go further and further, you do notice that Bavelli was indeed telling the truth, that right in and around here, there are a couple of places where you can kind of just put your hands into and climb the wall.
I climbed the wall.
Perfect. Give me... Let's see. Give me... Give me a strength check.
The blessings of forfeited be upon you.
17.
17,
Hey.
perfect. So you kind of spring right up and grab a hold of the siding here, and you start climbing, and climbing. You get to pretty much the very top here, and there is one single little indented area that looks a little bit sketchy. So, would you like to keep going? You're nearly to the top here.
Could I, like, with a spare hand before I reach for it, could I get, like, a dagger or something and poke it?
Yeah. Yep. Go for it. Give me just a strength check for that.
10.
You go to kind of bring your dagger into this wall, and you hit it, and it kind of just starts to... It doesn't hit it directly, and you don't kind of hit it with enough force, and it slips from your hand and right to the edge of the cliff here.
I sigh. I sigh.
And as that kind of happens, Bavelli makes his way right over to the side of the wall, and you just see his big poofy hat just appear over the side of it. And he leans forward and says,
I'm gonna say... Am I going? Or are you going?
"Oh no, you go. Go ahead. Yep."
Okay. Allison's gonna say, well, aren't you a sight for sore eyes?
Don't flatter me. And he kind of just gives you a hand.
I'm gonna take it.
You take his hands, and let me just roll a strength check really quickly. Bavelli reaches his hand out to you, and you grab a hold of it, and you kind of immediately slip out of his grab. Give me an agility saving throw.
Oh no.
Is he trying to long live the king, Alice?
I'll cry! 14.
I'm gonna kill Pavelli.
14. Perfect. So you managed to kind of just barely grab and regain your kind of balance on the wall here. And Bavelli says, "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry." And he reaches his hand back over to you. And this time, let's see. Perfect. Okay. This time he is able to lift you up just fine.
As I'm coming over the wall, I'm gonna say, would flattering have gotten me over quicker, or would it dropped me again?
I told you it was the dangerous route. I'd say it's
I was
pretty
just gonna
quick
shrug and be
though.
like, well, you did tell me. Yeah.
And he says, "Well, I have to bounce. I have places to be. I will catch you later, huh?"
Yep. And then Alice is gonna turn.
You turn, and Bavelli just kind of just turns into a little mud creature and along the side of the wall until he disappears at the front. And Alice, you kind of begin making your way. Are you doing it kind of stealthily? There's not really, you kind of notice that there's nobody around.
Yeah, just like not full stealth, just kind of like half stealth.
Perfect. You reach the stairs here and head down. You do see Rizzy and Look Down just kind of standing at the entrance here.
She's just gonna appear and not say anything.
Valorzi feels like there's something behind him. He just he turns around and
After
says,
a while of like sitting there, eventually looked out, which have been like, what to?
Well, I guess we just kind of wait for her. You said that you were being kind of remotely stealth. Actually, just give me a stealth check.
Oh, 20!
And yeah, Valrizzi definitely does not notice you.
Hang on, I gotta know. Oh, cocked. I do not. That's 16.
And yeah, he just kind of like looks forward and says, "Yeah, I don't really know. Hopefully, Bavali's able to get her up pretty soon. I guess we just kind of wait for her. Not sure."
Look down, sits down. Okay.
And
I was just waiting. Just standing there. Just looking at them.
Doesn't need Bavelli.
Oh, yeah, don't get me wrong. I think she's pretty crafty. But that guy seemed pretty cool.
Okay.
and
As he looks at the ice dragon fang.
Valrizzi just kind of like a little bit of time passes. I would say like maybe in and around like the realm of like a minute, and Valrizzi just kind of like starts to get agitated and like looks around and sees you standing right behind him, and kind of just gets very scared and hops back.
She's dead come to life. You use words?
Sometimes.
I was just here.
Why didn't you tell me? Jeez, I look like a jackass standing here.
Look down, turns around.
Alice is just gonna walk.
Fucking dysfunctional, I love it.
So, do you want us to follow you, or?
Alice is gonna turn back around, walk towards them, and ask Valrizzi how much money he has on him.
Jeez, pretty direct, huh? I mean, when they say that women only care about money, I'm just.
Well, I
kidding.
need to know. Oh my god.
I'm traveling a bit light. I got 1,500.
She goes to look down, or goes to look down, but then realized who she was about to ask this question, and then just hands look down 2,000,
Oh,
and then
Worst idea known to man.
looks at. This is an amazing idea. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Looks at Valrizzi and says, make sure he doesn't spend that all in one place. I'm gonna go do what I need to do. I don't know, have fun, look around, enjoy your freedom outside. I don't know. I'll find you guys.
Yeah. And you just gonna start
What?
walking.
what? This?
Okay, so this is let me teach you the intricacies of gold. All right, money is a thing to respect, you see.
Intra.
Alice is gonna turn to Valrizzi and say, haven't you learned and then she's gonna turn around but not walk yet and just wait to hear the conversation go further.
Pardon me. Gold good, Findle bad.
She's gonna throw a same little stack with some gold in it at Valrizzi.
Never mind, she's not so bad after all. Have a good time.
No, she was like throwing it, like decking
like hockey,
full
yeah.
speed, pitching this little gold bag.
Slugging that damn thing at his head.
Give me a hit, like a hit dime, and then add your ducks to it. I think
19.
as well. Okay, yeah, so it's up there. Yeah, it kind of like hits him right in the face, and just like plops down to the ground, and it hurts pretty bad. It's just a packet
And then
full
she's
of
gonna
gold.
walk over and pick it up.
Oh, I was gonna say, look down, picks it up. Dropped this.
Yeah, God, you dropped it, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, I'm just really bad with my hands.
Rizzy
Findle
fell
bad,
down the
I guess
stairs, I
it's
saw
with
it.
my hands.
Oh shit.
And he like turns back to look down and gives him an immediate smile.
So anyways, what I was telling you about gold.
And he gives like a wink at Alice.
Trying to dust the cobwebs off of my gold box there. Never thought I'd get use.
My gold box.
The royal coffers.
So I'm guessing you gave it to him in like a pouch.
Yeah, I think
Or did you give him-
said
Yeah.
yeah.
A little pouch.
Okay. Look down, just kind of holds on to it in his hand.
Good.
And Valrizzi like Yep.
I was gonna say Alice just waits for him to explain money to him to see if Lookdown has any more questions.
Oh,
All right, so that guy up there that helped us out, Bavelli, I think that guy said his name was. He works with a thing called gold. That's what you got in your hand there, and gold is used to buy things. If you give gold to someone, then you are well, I shouldn't say rightfully owed the item. Sometimes people don't want to trade certain things, but you just ask them. You say, hey, is that for sale? You look them dead in the eye. You say, is that for sale? And if they say yes, you give them the amount of gold. Sometimes you can work them to give them a little bit less gold. Bargain. It's called bargaining. But we'll get there. We'll get there. That's a whole different lesson. But the main thing that you need to know is whoever has this, and he like just kind of like shuffles a little bit of gold in his hand, usually has a lot of power.
Oh.
Alice is just shaking her head at Valrizi.
Okay.
And he just got
just like in his head is actually just I've been this powerful and I never had money.
just think of the possibilities.
Look down, thinks he just like Dragon Ball Z, he's powered up.
Just
Now he can hit through
Oh, man.
walls.
I just got 70 experience points. Weird.
Oh shoot, there's still 5 left.
Fucking
And Valrizi kind of looks over to you,
I'm
Alice.
Just hearing all this confusion.
He like looks over to you to see if he's done a good job.
We need to give him an example. We need to give him an example.
Okay, let's see. Is there anything worth value here?
Alice is just gonna start walking towards where she thinks there's stores.
And you can kind of see that in and around this area here that there are quite a few store-looking fronts. Yeah. Just follow us, LD.
getting so many nicknames.
He's the nickname master. And you head kind of over here. And you see that this is a blacksmith. A smithy.
Oh, Thames would love it.
No, you'd be a petty little fucker.
I hate it.
You.
I feel like he would tell them like, "Oh, you're doing this wrong." Is that really the best way you could be doing this?
No, the form's all wrong.
Like I can hear it. Form's all wrong. This isn't worth. This isn't worth what you're selling it for.
You see these dents?
I was gonna walk past this.
Okay. And Valrizi will follow you. You should follow. And go ahead.
No, my armor's fucked up.
You're hanging on by a scrap.
Is
And as you kind of head into the main little area here, it seems like there's quite a few kind of magic spots. There's a bookstore right here. There is a kind of like an herbs, potions place over here. There's like a little magical emporium over here.
looking like a UFO.
I'm gonna go to the magical emporium.
Perfect. You head
Oh, it's
right
scary.
into the magical emporium here. No, perfectly normal, perfectly normal. And there is just like a there's just like a very, very small, just super, super short, like human, just manning the desk. He says, "Hello.
Hi.
Look around, I got plenty of fun things here.
And he kind of just like runs
Fun
over.
things.
Yes, a very fun thing. I found this one while I was digging through some treasure.
And he like kind of pushes a trash can off to the side and shows you, and and it's something called alert glasses. You kind of look at the glasses, and it just seems like a normal pair of glasses. And then he goes, "But wait!" And he
slides the glasses on. As he has his eyes closed, you can see that his eyes look like they're wide open. He's like, so that you always seem like you're awake. Magic!
I can always look like I have two eyes
I
with
like
my eye
this
patch
guy.
on.
That's so true, actually. And
Yeah.
he's like, I can give it to you for a good price, too. It's the cheapest thing in the store. I can give it to you for 150 gold.
150.
150 gold. It's a steal.
That is a pretty good price.
Look down, puts
But
the
you know,
bag
we
of
just
gold on the
kinda
counter.
traveled a really long time.
He put the bag of gold on the counter.
Yeah.
Alice goes and picks up the bag of gold.
Yeah, you can see that the shop owner's kind of like oogling over like the prospect of getting that much gold, and you kind of swipe it right away, and like the smile just disappears from his face. I can see that you're a big spender. You came to the magical emporium, yeah? So you want something real magical, yeah? I can see
I
it
don't
in
know.
your
I really
eyes.
like those glasses.
Well, let's see if I can convince you. And he like kind of just like places the glasses behind him.
Look down is so confused right now. Because he's just like, wait, I put money down. Isn't that?
At the time of the shop owner money grubbing his hands trying to find something, Alice is gonna look down and say, so this is a store. There are many different kinds of stores. Okay? And when you go in stores, you can buy things. And you can always ask them how much they are. And then she's like waiting to see if Look Down interpreted any of that.
He's 1,000% listening intently, but you can definitely tell there's something about it he doesn't fully grasp.
So then she
and
just continues and goes,
It's
so
It's kind of like he followed up to you. There's different stores and you can go into different places, but you can ask for the amount. And like it's like when you got to like amount is where he kind of lost it.
okay. Alice is gonna look to see if the little magic man is returning.
yeah, he put like the glasses behind him and then ran kind of out back for a second, and comes back with a scepter, and he says, "For any of you magical casters out there, check this one out." And it is a pretty large scepter that is made out of a very nice looking black stone. It's called the Vipant Travelier Scepter. And he brings it over to a pool of water, and he puts it in the water, and says, "Now put your hand inside the water and see what happens. It's magic."
I look at Alice.
Alice is gonna look at Valrizzi.
Wow, I wonder what happens.
He just kind of like stands, and like tries to pretend to be excited, and puts his hand right in the water, and he feels a very like a reasonably strong restorative property, and he feels like pretty relaxed, and the store owner like raises his eyebrows and goes, "Ah, it heals you."
He found the magic perk.
Wow, guys, that was really cool. What'd you think, Look Down?
Look down, puts his hand in the water.
You put your hand in the water, and it does indeed feel pretty spectacular. You feel like you definitely feel restorative properties to it.
Does it actually heal me?
Yes. Were you missing HP?
How much? Yes.
Oh. 1d12.
Ah, swag. Sweet. Hang on. I have to find my D12. Thanks. Oh my goodness, on the dot, the number I needed.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, this staff makes you feel pretty good. Or the water that you put your hand into.
Is nice.
I can give you
And he's just leaving his hand in it.
yeah. You like that? I can give you this bad boy for 2K. 2,000 gold. How does that sound?
Look down, just looks confused.
Alice says no.
It's a little pricey, El Doozy.
Put it back on the shelf.
We gotta save
Put it
some.
back where you got it from.
We gotta save some money for some grub.
Right. See.
And the shop owner just like gets a little like disheartened and like knows that he's not gonna be able to get a lot of money out of you, so he goes over and grabs the glasses and puts them on the table.
Oh boy.
And then Alice looks at Lookdown and says, "Okay, ask him how much."
How much?
Well, I can give this to you for 150 gold.
Look down does the like not like in an embarrassed way, but just kind of has that look of I don't know how much 150 gold is.
And like Valrizy kind of like cracks his knuckles. He's like,
All right, check this out. I know how to do this really well.
and he just kind of like slides his hand in the bag and just like whoosh, like whips out like on the dot like 150 gold and places it on the table.
He's like, when you deal with gold for long enough, you just kind of pick up on these things. But if you need to learn, have you oh boy.
And he looks over to Alice and he's like,
I don't think he knows how to count.
I don't think he knows how to count.
1, 2, 3, and he very slowly starts counting to 10, and unless you stop him, he gets to 10, and that's where he stops.
and you can see that Valrizy's like pretty blown away. He's like,
Oh, well, yeah, I guess he does.
That's it.
Huh. You know, I think it might be easier if I just go shopping with you for now. I'll teach you along the way.
Okay. Thank you.
and the shop owner kind of like bows his head. He says,
Thank you. Please come back again.
and he goes to like sit down. He starts like like spooning something into his mouth very aggressively.
Hello.
So, I'm losing 150 gold, I'm guessing?
Yes. And let me send you this Joshua Sherbin.
Oh, goody.
So I'll just put it right in the chat. Yeet. And Yeah, you like that?
This is some bullshit. That is a lot of money for something that's not actually fucking magical, but you know, here we are.
It's, you know, it is the closest thing to magic that you're probably going to be able to use for some time. So. And as you buy this,
Downside of forgetting your caster at home.
yeah, right. If it would be having a field day here.
Can we come back with a? We got this thing at the house. He really should have come with us.
This thing? Oh my god. That's pretty savage.
What the fuck, man?
Put him in the back of the line. All this.
You're gonna fit right in it, Trell. Don't worry about it.
I didn't. That's the problem.
And we are going to go back to Hellspring now here. Open map.
Oh boy, howdy! I'm so glad
happy
somebody
to
was
look
there.
down on buying something.
First thing I ever bought. Also, I'm glad somebody was there because I 1000% intended on my first purchase to be whatever it was to give 2,000 gold. Don't understand the concept. So you know.
That's why Alice said, watch him.
Hellspring, here we go.
Good call.
Look at all that burn pile there. So nice. Nice little burn pile. Let me just get the tokens in here. Bada bing, bada boom. We got Marth, Penelope, and Pivot. And Marth, after having like a very bad time, I suppose you could put it, walks back over to Pivot and says, "All right, let's get going."
Pivot's kind of just got his hand on Penelope's shoulder just to make sure she doesn't wander off. He just nods. Let's.
And as you kind of start heading back towards the castle, you get about here and give me an observation check, Pivot.
1 sec, I forgot my dice.
Yeah, no problem. Damn. Martha notices nothing.
Maybe there's just nothing to notice.
Perhaps.
Such a Chad move. Just say roll an observation check, and there's nothing there. So 25 is there's nothing.
Lol.
Alright. I got dice. Then a +5 for observation.
Damn, let's go.
That is an 18.
So as you're kind of walking, Marth seems kind of just blinded with how angry he is and continues walking. But Pivot, as you're heading along, you're kind of looking down to Penelope to make sure she's walking alongside you. And you notice on the ground that there is a shackle that you've seen quite a few times.
Marth.
Yes.
Pivot uses his other hand and points at the shackle. Is that what I think it is?
And Marth kind of just like picks it up and eyes it. And without like really thinking too much on it, kind of turns back forward and says, "Well, I said that he was free." And he continues walking.
Fid kind of stands there for a moment before shaking himself off and following.
Let's see, we're going to open back up to the map here. The moving castle.
You just start seeing more of the shackles and clothes as you keep walking.
What is going on? He's living as a frickin' nudist.
I told him he'd be free, not that free.
Lookdown's become a nudist.
Insolence. You three arrive kind of back at the castle. And it is currently kind of just raining. Marth is just kind of like trudging through the rain. Kind of like angrily walks up the steps. And Penelope can kind of tell that there's like tension. She doesn't really know why. But she just sees that everybody is in a very like uptight mood, and doesn't really say anything.
As they get into the building, Pivot's just gonna like kind of gently hold her shoulder and just lean down and say, "You can head to your room if you want, kiddo."
Okay. Is everything okay?
It will be.
And she just kind of like hurries over to her room and closes the door behind her.
Pivot looks over at Marth.
Max and Thames, you have just kind of finished up with your daily duties.
Did we manage to get the massive anvil up?
Yes, I'm gonna say yes to the anvil. Actually, let me just grab an anvil here and make big anvil. You dragged it all the way back to the forge here, and Max is just kind of like laying on the bridge here, just like breathing and panting heavily.
Thames is just like looking down at him with almost a little bit of scorn.
Shut up.
Oh, I said it.
Marth spots you two and says, "Thames, Max, we need to go."
We don't have Alice or look down, no?
Alice is gone. Lookdown's gone.
We're going to leave them?
Alice left on her own volition. Lookdown, I don't know where he went. He left, though. He would have been with us if he wanted to be here. And he raises his shackle and says, "I found this on the trail before Hellspring."
And where exactly are we going to go?
We're going to Trell.
Trell?
Trell.
Why Trell?
The longer that we stay here, the more obvious of a target we are. By now, Mechalite's expecting us to try to play hero again, find another area, liberate it. We don't have time for it right now. We'll play right into their hands. Us coming here, spending all this time here, is playing right into their hands. If we go to the border, they'll expect it. Plus, we need help.
And Troll's going to help us.
Yes.
5 of us, or more realistically, 4 of us and the child.
For our sake, it's more. Just between us.
So we're going to lie to them.
I prefer the word bluff, but yes.
Marth, when you get the chance, I would like to speak with you. Perhaps in my forge, or someplace where there's not a bunch around. And Thames looks gravely serious whenever he says that.
Is it something that needs to be done right away? We have very little time.
We can do it when we're moving.
He kind of needs to focus to move the castle.
Yeah.
It's not an easy spell by any means.
Then yes, perhaps we shall do it now then.
And he nods and kind of allows you to go first, should you want to.
Yeah, I'll go to my forge.
You head into the forge here, and Marth follows behind you and kind of shuts the door behind him.
Marth, what is the problem?
I don't understand. What do you mean?
When we started off, you made it seem as if it was something of a partnership, not exactly servitude.
No, I wouldn't like you to be a servant. Of course not. This is very much so a partnership. Your word means just as much as mine.
Mm-hmm.
I believe.
Yeah,
go ahead.
And yes, you say that we are going to trial, but this was not discussed.
No. Listen, I know what we need to do. Would you rather we go, or would you rather we go off to Vioran and attempt to pull a Bilms too, while they're waiting and ready for us? We stand no chance. We've lost Look Down, we've lost Alice. We need help.
Marth, you understand. Like you said before, Alice is gone, Look Down is gone. Your immediate reaction may be that you understand truly the situation, but it feels as if it's a little limited about what we can do. I watched everything burn in real time. I've outlived my family 6 times over, and I couldn't even watch my entire race fall to the blades of Mechalite. We better make sure this little jaunt to Trail is fucking worth it. Because if we come back empty-handed, all the tiny bits of progress we've made, its good use will be obliterated by the Mechalite mongrels, and they will be dancing on the smoldering remains. This strong-arming, I'll tolerate it, suppose once. Don't make it a habit. I will not stand by, idly, as yet another flicker of hope is crushed. I slaved for 150 years, pathetically hoping that my goal would come true. I cannot and will not do so again. I will be clear here. You are the face of our efforts, but you are a mask without the beating heart and soul of everyone. I did not sign my life away to abandon comrades. I did not sign my life away to be led. I dedicated it to liberate Nickelmentia from the clutches of Mechalite. And as a final act, a defiance from our Turliad, this world, that will ever be seen. I will make myself clear once more. I do not care for royal titles, even less so for that of a fallen country's house. As I said before, you are not my leader, you are not my majesty, we are partners, this is an association. I stand at death's door, rejecting Avar's embrace to see that 2 things come to fruition, and nothing more. Niall will die, and Mechalite will burn. Have I made myself clear?
I couldn't agree with you more. I wouldn't want you to care about my
Good.
title. Just as I believe that we've all been through terrible things. And as long as there is a single hope, single flicker of hope in Petovia, that we have to kind of just be able to bloom forward, I'm gonna take it. I'm not gonna let Ilms fall. I will not let Petovia fall. But I need to know that I have you at my side. I am going to be perfectly honest with you, Thames. You are incredibly useful. You're incredibly gifted. Same with Pivot. I recognize that both of you
are absolutely necessities. And I would do anything to keep you. I would have done anything to keep Lookdown and Alice too, but Alice, and he kind of just like shakes his head and looks up. Alice compromised our mission. We were supposed to be quickly in and out here. Just retrieve what the Radiant Knight had set for us here. She was dilly-dallying. She went into my childhood home, defiled it. She broke the window of my childhood house, alerted everybody in the area, compromised our mission entirely. So I laid it plainly for her. I said, you can stay or you can leave. She chose the latter. I'm not asking you for any recognition to my royal title. In fact, that is the last thing that I want. Like I said, as a man who has nothing to lose and very much to gain, I need your help.
Marth, are you aware that I was not born in Petovia? I'm not from here, so what allegiance I do have Petovia is circumstantial. I do not wish to see them fall to more tragedy, but you must understand that my goal, and he looks like he's a little extra worked up now, is saying, to see the ones that killed my people, the ones that made me forget my mother's face and voice 200 years ago. I want to see them die.
And Marth gives you like an almost eager smile and says, then I think we're on the same page.
Very well, I have work to get to.
Before you, go. Who told you that you're the last Turlian?
Soliet.
And you believed her?
For as much of a conniving bitch as she always was, she never outright lied to me.
Very well. And
at this point, what if there is more? It's not like I can help make more. I probably lost that ability 200 fucking years ago. At the very least, I'll be an outsider. Watching that a culture I never partaked in is gone.
And
or perhaps will
Marth,
thrive.
Marth kind of looks at you and just thinks to himself for a second before saying, at the end of the day, I woke up out of my 50-year slumber thinking that my entire country was destroyed, thinking that nobody had survived. And I fastened onto this fascination that I just wanted to watch Mechalite burn, wanted them to pay. Trust me, I still, deep down, I want to tear them. I want them to suffer. But once I saw Bilms, I realized that there was hope. And I realized that maybe, just maybe, there was something still to hold on to. Don't lose that.
You don't. No. You haven't seen Turliads put in cages by Renthal. You haven't seen... you haven't told one of the last known Turliads that you won't help them because their idea is foolish. And then as they cross over the border, they all get enslaved or killed. You don't know what it's like to hear that the first ones to go in fucking Mechalite are your people, and you have yet to see a single one since. People have forgotten your race exists. People think I'm some kind of freak that was born in a lab.
And Marth nods and he says, surely, surely. But different sides of the same history.
Maybe. What is certain is that vengeance will come. That is all I hold to.
And Marth nods to you and says, heroes today, vengeance tomorrow. And he kind of just steps out of the doorway.
Tim's currently, like as he says, is thinking, vengeance today, vengeance tomorrow. And then is going over to his forge, and he's going to work on Chaotica's edge.
Perfect. Marth is going to Marth is going to just look to see like Maxwell laying on the bridge here. He's gonna quickly kind of run upstairs and grab a blanket and bring it down to him and lay it on top of him as he's sleeping. Pivot, what would you like to do?
Well, seeing as Agatha's occupied his chair, he's just gonna plonk down next to the ruined door and break out the books.
Oh no!
The main door.
Oh, the main door here.
Like
okay.
right where he was standing. It's like, well,
there's a little slot for you.
no thanks. I'd rather not get strangled to death by a fucking grapevine.
Like I would say, like halfway as you're walking, comes to open the door, yell out, "You have a room," and then close it.
What? When? Where? What?
He's already closed the door.
Jeez.
Kevin just like looks at Marth, confused.
I guess he built you a room. And Marth kind of like
Kevin looks at Max.
Max is kind of just dead asleep.
Oh. As you're saying?
And Marth, I was just gonna say Marth kind of like looks over to the throne to see Agatha just like sitting in the throne and the Turliad statue just at the front of it, and he wants to be angry, but after the talk he had with Thames, he feels somehow a little bit lightened up, much more so than before, and so he just kind of like lets out a sigh and just like almost a smile, and looks over to you, Piv, and says, "I guess I can help you find it."
That would be appreciated. That's a nice decoration there. Says, looking over towards the throne.
And like as you kind of get closer to him and approach him, he just like turns to you and says, "Yep, that's one word for it."
It's good craftsmanship.
Ah. And I'm trying to remember if Marth came in here. Marth has been in here since the first renovations. Actually, both of you have been in here since the first renovations. I don't think Pivot's kind of looked around the area at all.
No, Pivot has no clue what Tem has done.
Yeah, I think the only ones that haven't been in the castle at all since the renovations are Alice and LD.
LD, yeah.
I know what he did to his forge. That's all I know.
And so Marth kind of like looks to see the same three rooms here, and he's like, "I don't think it's." And he's like, "Son of a bitch, did he give you my room?" And he just
what?
he kind of like runs up quickly because he's like, "Man, that maybe would be something that he would do." and he reaches the top to see that his room's like not been touched. He's like, but he does see a bathtub. Yeah, he sees like a bathtub all the way at the window here. And
it looks relatively untouched.
Yeah.
You still need to change the sheets on that damn bed.
Yep. Once we get to
How
the
have
next
you been
town, I'll buy
sleeping in
some.
that damn thing?
I was doing it for 50 years, so I figure what's a couple extra nights. I'm used to sleeping out in pretty bad places.
Well, it's one thing to sleep in rough places and have magically sustained rest, but that is literally decaying blood on your sheets. You will get ill.
Pivot. Tim Tam is not where you left him.
That is true. Yeah, you do notice that Tim Tam is just not in the place that you left him.
Wait a minute. Where's Tim Tam?
Oh yeah. Not sure on that one.
God damn it. Pivot goes down the stairs.
Look, Marth has spent the last 50 years making that perfect indentation in that bed. All right,
It's gotta
that
be
thing
comfy. It's gotta be good.
it is perfectly sized to him. Why would he ever get rid of it?
Yeah. Just don't want to catch fucking Soliate AIDS, you know? It's a pretty terrible way to go.
Not wrong.
And yeah, you
What
head
kind
back
of
down
age?
here, and the right where Tim Tam was, you notice that it's like no longer there.
What the fuck was
I
that?
hate you so much. Why?
I have to.
In memory of Tim Tam.
Once Pivot recognizes that Tim Tam is not there, he's gonna start checking doors pretty much.
Yeah, you kind of just go through the usual doors. You open this one, and it seems like a woman's room. And you close
Pivot
the door.
shuts the door.
You saw Penelope go into here, so you kind of assume that's probably Penelope's room. You do open up this one here, to see that it is just kind of like a basic bed with some candles.
I see the cot on the floor, and I just shut the door.
You know, and
Well, not there. I guess he put it downstairs?
goblin noises. Stepping over Max on your way there. And yeah, as you kind of head downstairs here, you see at the end of the hallway here, there's a new room.
Ah, that must be it.
And as you kind of get close, I would say probably in and around like the stairs here, and once you notice the room, Tim Tam starts to kind of come back and looks around and goes, "Oh my god, where am I? I'm closed in, master, they're keeping me prisoner!" And he starts...
Tam, you're okay, shouts God. Toad quickly runs over and opens the door.
You open up the door, and if Tim Tam had a worried expression on his face, it would definitely be there.
You're fine, buddy. This is my room now, so we'll likely be staying here for some time.
Tim Tam is staying at the same place as Master?
Yes.
It'll be just like old times. Although
He just glances at Marth to see his
my
expression.
my lady used to have covers, sheets across the bed, so I wouldn't. She didn't like the idea of me watching her.
Not the first time I'd be watched.
What?
Oh. And Marth
So
kind
it's a
of
weird
like,
pitch, okay?
Yeah, no questions asked, definitely. I understand that. As someone who's harping over him for like 50 years, sleeping in the same bed with him. Master, sorry, let me...
Pivot kind of scoots past him into the room.
And as you step into the room, you see that Thames has actually done a pretty good job with this. He kind of like thought of quite a lot of things. He has like a little bookshelf that he made, as well as just like a rack for you, a little nightstand, dresser, and you see that he has like a desk set up for you in the corner.
Pivot's gonna walk over to the friggin' desk. Just look at it.
Oh, no.
Start checking drawers.
You go to start like kind of opening drawers as you kind of just seem to be like shuffling through everything very excitedly. It is like the first time you've had a room in a decent time now, as you have had your shack left behind. So you're just like
fucking rickety half desk is what I had for a long ass time.
yeah, like this is nice. And so as you're kind of just looking through the drawers, you hear and from the top of the desk falls a skull onto the main portion of the desk and starts going.
Oh, Sans, yes. Hello, friend. How are you doing?
Devilish undead master! Be careful!
He's a good friend, Tim Tam. Don't worry. I thank you for the concern, though.
PTSD from the seizure rates.
No, no. Ooh.
And yeah, Sans just kind of like looks over to you. He can kind of like maneuver his head just a little bit with the top part of his jaw. Just kind of like digs it into the desk and like turns it over to you. He looks like he's kind of like mad that he's just kind of been left here.
Well, I mean, what do you expect me to do? Still working on a kid. Like, skeletons are hard to source, you know? No. I'm not gonna strap you to my belt. It's weird. We'll work on it. We'll work on it, okay?
And he like kind of like gives as much of a head nod as he can, and then like it just claws his way back over to the side.
Good God.
And Marth kind of just watches all of that unfold and is kind of blown away that you can understand him. And says, I'm gonna go get the castle going.
That would be for the best. Question for you.
Sure.
Where are we going to land in Trell?
We're gonna try to make as much room as possible, find a nice landing, but right at the border.
Right. Trell's been pretty tight about that border as of late, so we might have some trouble getting in.
And Marth kind of smiles, raises like Didamia, his sword up just a little bit, and says, hence the bluff.
You think there'll be people who'll recognize the symbol?
Yes,
It's been 50 years.
I think so. I do believe so. This is a historic sword.
Very well. We'll defer to your judgment then.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Do you have any concerns?
I'm going to be crucified while we're there, probably.
And Marth kind of smiles and walks towards you, puts a hand on your shoulder and says, if they do that, I'll break their arm.
Well, it won't help much. I've already been crucified.
No, we won't let it get there. Trust me.
I'm just saying, I'm happy to stay in the castle if you just need. People of Trell aren't exactly kind to foreigners.
They won't be kind to you. In fact, we're gonna use that to advantage. And he's gonna like look at you and say, I'm sure Vinit Pang, should he still be alive, will be heavily guarded. Some of his finest men, the last time I visited. Very, very noble knights. They'll try to strong-arm you. Don't let them. Be proud.
I'm not exactly good at that.
And he just kind of like thinks to himself, and then he says, well, I mean, if worse comes to worse, you have an 8-foot Turliad by your side, so
I suppose that's true. Though I wouldn't like to burden Thames any more than I already do. As he says this, he's starting to put books on the bookshelf.
And Marth just kind of nods his head and says, I know that you've both been through a lot. And I had a talk with Thames, and I do want to apologize for being so upfront about things, so uptight about things. I didn't really know what to think waking up. I didn't really know any of you. I didn't know whether I could... pardon me, I'm sure it's both ways, but whether you could be trusted. After all, everybody was in Castle Soliet together. But the further we do go on, the more I do know that we have a lot in common. And like I said, I don't care that you're a fell goblin. I don't care that they care that you're a fell goblin. We're gonna make it out of this together.
It kind of just stops.
You know, in Petovia, we very heavily worship the Creator. And the people of Trell, my God, they are such sticklers for certain things. They believe because fell goblins were created outside of the Creator's design, that they can't be they can't be nickel like the rest of the world. But I absolutely know that if they spent any sort of time around you and had any sort of open mind, they would clearly see that's not the case. Our souls all bind us. It's what makes us nickel.
Kevin kind of just tilts his head down at that.
Anyways, I'm sorry.
I don't know if I told you, but I grew up in Trell.
That you what,
know
sorry?
very well. I grew up in Trell.
Yeah.
I know very well how they treat the goblins. My first kill was actually tax collector.
A tax collector. You were mistreated there.
I'd like to be left alone with my thoughts, if you don't mind.
Surely. I'll see you in the border. I'll let you know when we get close.
Of course.
And he exits the room, closes the door behind him.
He would just stays kneeling on the floor. He slowly slides his mask off, sits to the side. One lone tear rolling down his cheek. And shakes his head, redons his mask, and goes back to putting books on the shelf.
Oh my god. And Marth is gonna head back up to the throne room here and kind of just look around. He sees Max on the ground here. And he sees Agatha sitting in the throne. So he's just gonna like shake his head back upstairs, and begin casting the levitation spell from his window here. Just move the bathtub.
Stand in the bathtub.
He sees the dirty bathtub and just goes,
After Chaotica's Edge, if I have time in the night, I will make Pivot's Mask V2.
Perfect. Thames, so as you go to describe the process for Chaotica's Edge.
I'm going to first make the blade. It's going to be mainly almost like a Zweihander style, if there's an equivalent in Nickelmentia.
Sure.
So, a guard with a relatively like medium-sized handle, almost a blunt slab of metal in between another guard that's a little bit further up, but it's a little bit smaller. And then it's going to be a blade of iron that has had the oxidation process on it, affected by a few chemicals as to make the blade black. But there's a few sockets throughout the sword. And with those sockets, I'm going to try to use the oblong shard that I got prior, and I'm going to try to split it without compromising any of its design, and then fit the pieces, one big piece and a couple smaller pieces throughout the blade.
So you begin to create like the beginnings of the sword, and it's actually coming together very, very nicely. And as you are kind of you pull out the oblong shard to kind of start to try to split it and form it into pieces that can kind of be put into the inlets. You kind of just make contact with it, and give me a divine saving throw.
Okay. That is a 19.
Thames. So as you kind of lay your hands on this gem and try to start crafting it, you feel just an unburdened, just this heavy burdenous weight in your heart. And as you kind of go to strike it, your body seems to just kind of reject itself. You start to kind of seize up, and you feel yourself getting very, very weak, and you collapse to the ground. And fall into a what seems like deep slumber.
Alrighty.
Would you like to do anything else in the meantime, Piven? It's going to take a fair bit of time for you guys to get to Trout.
Yep. Let's see. He'll study the Tome of Octavium.
Okay. Perfect. I would say, yeah, you definitely have time to kind of read over Octavium. You can see that this has kind of a whimsical past. Octavium does. It was mostly used to kind of originally for just good purposes, to calm people down, to especially people who were deaf. It was used to kind of give them the joys of music. But you can see that down the road, it was used for kind of crueler purposes, as well as military purposes. And you kind of read through the entirety of the book, and you now know the spell Octavium.
We got there! You did it!
I finally have a new spell.
Let's go. And you all kind of travel. Let me load up the map here. It's gonna take a hot second anyways. Yeet.
What do you mean? It always loads the map super quickly whenever we do this. 100% of the time.
There's like one specific asset that just loads very slowly. And every time I interact with it, it's like... but it's a really nice asset.
Nice
It's
ass.
called a horse.
Bad horse, bad horse. Yeah, this is the one. Oh lord, it's loading. It's going all right. There we go. So, the castle here. Under the fog. I don't know why the fog has once again enabled itself. Disable the fog here. The castle arrives after the whole kind of situation at the border, and it comes just trying to find like a safe place to kind of just plop it down, and this is probably like the only safe area, as it looks like there's not a lot of trees kind of in the way. And Marth brings the castle down to the ground, and he is going to kind of run downstairs and notify Pivid that you have arrived.
All right then.
He comes to grab you, Pivot.
In a coma.
Comes to grab you, Pivot, yep. And he says, we've arrived, son. If you wish to stay in the castle, if you don't wish to have any sort of interactions with these people, I understand.
Well, you're the diplomat here. What do you think would be best?
I think it would look good if I had a couple of strong sorcerer at my side and a very intimidating looking Turliad with me.
Very well. Let's get the Turliad then.
And as you kind of head up the stairs, which is kind of right in around here, you come across Maxwell, who is kind of just waking up on the ground. Max. And Marth goes over to him and kind of looks over to you, Pivot, and says, would you mind grabbing Thames and letting him know we're here?
Sure thing. Pivot will head over to the forge.
Oh, hey, Pivot. I kind of in a coma in front of that thing I told you I'd get rid of.
Marth goes over to Maxwell, who's laying kind of on the ground. He's starting to get up, and he's like, oh man, I'm so sore. All right, just let me know what we gotta do here, and I'm game. And Marth kind of goes to shake Max's hand. He kind of just puts his hand forward to him and says, at the beginning of the journey, I recall you saying that you wish to go to Trell. I know that this isn't exactly the type of life that you envision for yourself. I know that you probably want to have a more relaxed, normal life. Probably find yourself a wife, have a normal job. And, happy to say that we're finally here in Trell. I wanted to thank you for your service, and, well, don't tell anybody else, but half the reason we're here anyways is because I wanted to do right by you. You, have been my closest friend here for these past few weeks, and I can't thank you enough for that. So, I guess this is goodbye. And Marth puts his hand forward one more time. And, Max very, sadly just, looks at the ground and, shakes his head and gives Marth kind of a big hug and squeezes him and says, no. Not now. I had a change of heart. There's, a new purpose. I
I now want to help you guys out. I want to see a better tomorrow for Petovia. And I want to see you have a happy ending to your story too. I think that's where mine ends too. So I'm here with you till the end, my lord, Marth Somens.
He bows his head. And Marth quickly kind of reaches over to Max and places his hand on his shoulder and bows his head instead and says, "It's a pleasure to have you here, friend. Thank you for everything. I'm relieved." And he smiles. And as this is happening, you open up the door here, Pivot, to see that Thames is in a deep slumber, and he's not on his shell.
What the fuck? That's vile. What the shit?
Yeah.
Pivot's gonna quietly walk over, I guess, and try to shake Thames' shoulder.
You go to shake Thames' shoulder, and you do so, and there's no response from him. He seems to be completely comatose. And as you kind of just look at his face, his eyes are wide open.
Pivot just kind of like snaps his fingers a few times in front of Thames' face.
And hoping that kind of just a small gesture or just like some noise will wake Thames up, that he's hopefully kind of just playing a prank on you. There's no response from him. You do feel, as you kind of go to lift him a little bit, that he is still warm, and if you wish to check for a heartbeat.
The Pivot, like, once he gets no response, would immediately check for a pulse.
Perfect. You do notice that he does have a pulse.
Okay. Pivot kind of stands up then and takes a look around the room to see if there's any explanation for why this is the case.
Perfect. Give me an observation check quick.
17.
Yeah. So right on the anvil, you do see that there is that same oblong shard sitting kind of just right on top of it.
His hammer is either in his hand or on the floor.
Yep.
Oh, God damn it. Pivot's just gonna kind of try to inspect Thames to see if, like, he's been placed under a spell or anything of the sort. I don't know if I can determine that, like, with an Arcana check.
Yeah, give me an Arcana check.
Okay. Arcane too. That is a 25.
So you definitely see that this is kind of put on from probably direct contact with this oblong shard. You realize and kind of remember to yourself when Thames originally grabbed it out of the body that he wrapped it up. And now that it is exposed, you can kind of put two and two together that he must have had some kind of contact with it. And it seems like he is in a very, very deep slumber. It seems incredibly weak. You can just tell from kind of like the pulse that you were trying to garner from him. It seems that he's just kind of getting weaker. As far as the specific type of magic or kind of spell that he's been put under, was was a very good check. Let me think.
The roll was a 16 plus 9, by the way.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that was a very good check. You have absolutely seen this type of kind of reaction from prisoners inside of inside of the cells. It almost had seemed like it was a death sentence. Very much so a very brutal side effect of dark magic. Chaotic magic.
Okay.
As far as kind of you know that you were kind of working in tandem with Solyet as far as creating potions and brews through various experiments. So perhaps she would have some kind of insight.
Okay, a journal for that. Damn it. Pivot walks over to the door to the smithy, pokes his head out towards Marth and Max. We got some problems.
Problems?
Thames is unconscious. He's in a coma. His condition is deteriorating. You wouldn't happen to know where Solyet's journal is?
Hold on, I think I left it up on my desk. And he runs
We'll read it.
upstairs. He runs upstairs and realizes that it is no longer there. And kind of like frantically starts pulling through things, trying to find the journal. And he's absolutely convinced that he himself had left it there before. And he runs down and says, no sight. It's not there anymore.
What?
I don't know. I looked through everything.
So, I doubt Alice would have bothered, looked down, and would have touched it. Max, did you touch it? The journal?
No, I wouldn't dare. I have other things that I read.
Not even gonna question that right now. I didn't take it. Okay. Pivot just kind of stops. Turns around to look at Tim's.
Oh. And, you have... we're gonna probably just go from your prior observation check before, as you were kind of just very quick to just look around for kind of anything and everything. You were really trying to spot this journal, and you absolutely have an inkling that it would be on Thames's body.
You son of a bitch. Pivot goes to search Tim's pockets.
Perfect. So you go to look through Thames's kind of belongings, and you do find Solyet's journal on him.
Okay. Are the pages, like, dated individually?
Yes. So it seems like the majority of... as you kind of... Well, I'll say this, I suppose. As you kind of open up the journal, you kind of start flipping through the pages, right? You're looking kind of for specific entries. In the beginning, you can see that this is like the initial just kind of postings and ramblings of a young girl. And as you continue to go through, you see kind of like the ink just kind of stops on one page. And as you continue flipping through the pages, a lot of them have headers as to kind of what they are, and just to signify what they're designed to do and the basis of kind of what it's about. But there's nothing written below it. And as you kind of go backwards through the pages, you notice, once again, that the ink is slowly disappearing from the pages. Very, very slowly.
Like there's less and less inked pages and more just the blank ones.
Yeah, you can see that each individual page has like a header at the top of it to kind of describe what it is, but the actual content is disappearing.
Damn it. Notice anything else about these damn pages, or is it just no word for you?
It seems like there are specific sections as you're kind of going through. One of them is indeed labeled Thames. One of them is labeled Pivid. There is one entry that is for Marth, which is kind of, there's no content for any of these pages. You can see that there is a section for the various experiments done, the results, as well as kind of certain potions just labeled out and named. And you get to a certain point, and it says, "My eyes are up here, darling." And there's a small missing spot in the picture, which is kind of fitted for an eye.
Oh, are you fucking kidding me? Pivot, like, takes a quick look around to see if there's anything resembling an eye that he could use. But I would assume he doesn't spot the requisite item easily.
Roll me another observation check.
Okay. Okay. That's a nat 20, so that's
Okay,
25.
massively clutch. Massively clutch. Okay, so yeah, you kind of are looking around the room, like eagle eyes around these room. Best detective work you're probably ever going to do in your life. And you do spot at Thames's side a small eye made of alexandrite.
Pivot spots it, and it's like relief over his face, and then it's like horror. And then it's just like, oh, that's fucked up. And he takes the eye.
Perfect.
And he slots it into the book.
So, I will say, you put this eye into the book, and it kind of unveils the knowledge that you had prior about the night and fog. Nothing else seems to be appearing on any of the other pages. However, you do see the ink slowly receding, as if it was probably there for a little while. It's very, very slowly rolling back.
What, like the pages are slowly forming the words that are meant to be there, or
Disappearing still.
Huh.
And as you kind of, if you're looking at any of the kind of pages, I will say that towards the end of what is kind of disappearing, since this was such a good observation check, where is it? Gotta open up the journal here. Soliot's diary. Let's see, let's find it. Oh wait, I gotta get the updated version. Sorry, I actually didn't expect us to come across this today. Ooh.
Wow, not prepared much?
Absolutely not. Worst
Well, you know, this fucking Turliad seems determined to kill himself by getting shit, so...
Thames does seem to be the one that tries to kill themselves the most in this party, honestly. Like, the painting, the book...
I'm sure there's many more to come.
We ain't even done yet.
So as you kind of are reading the tail end of the words on this page, you read kind of just like a little bit beforehand and see thoughts and ideas for statues. Birds are adorable and faithful. They are always looking to help. Next thing says dragons are despicable creatures that will take everything from you. Don't trust what they say. The third one says snakes are tricky animals that will attempt to lull you into a false sense of security to get what they want from you. And then the next one says, I saw a sea serpent off the western coast of Mechalite once. It was at a hard interval of my life. Seeing the sea serpent filled me with a renewed sense of purpose and reversed many of my harmful thoughts that were in my mind at the time. I repaid the serpent by sending an earring St. Nichol had given me one year that reminded me of my mother, a symbol that one good deed deserves another. And then the last one says, lions are such ferocious creatures. And it starts to disappear.
Oh, that would have been helpful. Damn it. So Pivot pulls the eye stone back out of the book.
Yep.
Since it's clearly not helping. How opaque is this eye rock? Like, could you see through it? Or...
You can see a decent bit into it. Sure. Yeah. It kind of it's just a very, very beautiful what seems to be Alexandrite gemstone that has been very, very neatly crafted into a glass eye.
So, setting the book or journal down on the table, Pivot's going to try to look at the blank pages through the Alexandrite eye.
Oh, man, that's such a good idea. You go to kind of... Wow. You go to look through the Alexandrite eye at the pages, and it does seem like the ink is still kind of reverting backwards, but you do see that there is indeed a magical effect around each of the individual letters and words forming all these sentences that are going past it. It seems that this, you can kind of just garner from looking right at it, that this is a spell that was definitely cast from Soliet to kind of keep people from reading the journal. And you can kind of spot the individual letters and words that are being formed and discern them now. And you start to be able to read forward. Are you reading kind of from the same section, or you want to try to look through?
Well, he's trying to get to relevant sections that will help save Tim's life.
Good. Okay, so
probably experimentation logs.
Yep.
Probably from dates he recognizes as relevant to the certain condition.
You begin kind of going through the various experimentation logs. Let me open up the diary once more. Oops, not that one. And there is a section that is called wasting that kind of catches your eye. And as you're kind of reading about wasting, it says, mostly a death sentence for anyone that succumbs to it, the bearer of which slowly wastes away, becomes weaker and weaker. The only cure is his blood.
His blood.
His blood. And just kind of thinking back on your experiments, you bled a lot of people throughout your time in the dungeons. But there's one person that you bled a lot more than others.
Oh, he's savage.
I wonder who that is.
Who's that guy?
Oh man, I wonder. Pivot kind of shakily sets the Alexandrite eye down on the table next to the journal
Yep.
and just says, "Ah, fuck."
Marth kind of like runs in and kind of he's just been looking all over the place for the journal and sees that you have it in your hands. And he says, "Oh, thank God. Did you find anything?"
Yeah, I know. We need look down.
And you say that, and Marth is immediately filled with just a ton of regret that he didn't kind of try harder to keep look down around. And he just bangs his fist into the wall and says, "Damn it, we'll find him." Damn it.
Okay, hold on. Let's think about it. Look down. He was pretty close with Alice, wasn't he?
And Marth kind of thinks back to when they were in the well. He had talked to Marth to kind of make sure that nothing kind of happened to Alice. And he nods and says, yes, I would say above everybody else.
And they both disappeared at the same time.
Yeah.
And those shackles weren't brute force, they were picked. Were they not?
Yeah, and I don't think that anybody would, other than look down, would let them take him off. I think, yeah, he must have.
So that means he went with Alice. Okay. Alice said she was going to Reddish.
She said what?
Reddish. It's a town, apparently, her home. Have you heard of it before?
And Marth really thinks to himself, and he doesn't know whether it's just memory loss from what Soliet kind of did to him, or the fact that he's just never been to anywhere, at least in Petovia, that's been named Reddish. He says, no idea.
I haven't seen it on any official maps either, and neither have I heard tell of it, so I imagine it's more of a quiet city. Okay. So Alice and Look Down went to Reddish. We don't know where Reddish is. At all. Okay.
Out of character, would there have been any vial saved of Lookdown's blood if he's experimented on so often?
I would assume it probably would have spoiled by now, no?
If he got that special blood, who knows?
It might be worth a try. I would say that kind of looking might be worthwhile for sure.
Okay. I need his blood.
And Marth, yep.
While you and Thames were hauling down the alchemical ingredients, you didn't happen to spot any vials or anything of the sort, did you?
There were some vials upstairs. I can check it out.
Was there anything specifically unique about Look Down's blood, like just on look alone? Or?
At look alone, it kind of just seemed like normal blood.
No, I should go look. I know how she labels things.
Sure.
Shit.
And Marth kind of heads back over to Max and says, "Just be ready. We might have to head out. We might have to look down, but we're gonna look for his blood first." And Max is like, "What?"
Pivot's gonna pretty much rush over to where said vials were.
Perfect. Right up in the bedroom. So as you kind of go up here, just give me an observation check.
Another observation.
Oh my god. Say it.
Guess what, sir?
Another 20?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So some good news. Really good observation check. You kind of look through all these vials very quickly, and really do notice that there are quite a few that are kind of labeled for specific prisoners that you recognize their names 100%. More recent prisoners. Any kind of bad blood that could have kind of spoiled very recently has been kind of done away with. But you go over to it's pretty categoric, and you kind of just go right down the list, and you see a very large section with look down, and the vials seem like they've been taken.
Son of a bitch.
They look like they've been taken. Bad news.
Oh, that's another problem.
Okay. Who the fuck would have... Well, back downstairs.
You head back downstairs, and Max is like kind of headed off to his room just to get things ready to kind of go out if he needs to. And Marth turns to you and says, "What do you think? Any luck?"
I found where they were supposed to be. Seems they were taken. Don't know when. So, look down is who we need to find.
Alright, shit, do we know how much time he has?
Would I know?
From just kind of your general observation of him, it seems like he's slowly getting weaker. It doesn't seem like anything that's happening immediate. He's not kind of like seizing up. He's not just like his heartbeat is just like don't slowly fading away. It seems like it's something that's gradual.
With wasting, the descent is gradual, so we have time. Could be a week to a month, I don't know. Some stronger specimens held out for a long time, but Thames is different.
Yeah, Thames is a bit of a special case when it comes to that.
His body is strong, I guess what makes it up is not. I can guarantee a week. Anything past that, it's...
pushing it.
Well.
Shit. And, Marth just kind of tries to think through his mind as much as possible where this Reddish would be. And he really cannot come across like anything in his mind where he would be able to find this place.
Question, Keen.
Yes.
Am I currently experiencing anything within my consciousness?
Yes, you are. You are experiencing some very happy memories. And memories mainly of your family. And it seems very, very real to you. Your brother and you kind of just off exploring as a kid, and you kind of just getting in various bits of trouble, and coming home after a long night in Mechalite to your mother's cooking, which is something that has been something that you haven't had in a very long time. And while it isn't the best cooking that you've kind of ever tasted, it has a very nostalgic feel to it. She used to cook a lot of potatoes, very much so, honestly. And you kind of are just in a happy moment with your family, sitting there with with Philip, your father, and your mother, just around a campfire, and a cool kind of mechalite night breeze just kind of glides across your skin, and it feels like silk. And this is truly everything that you could have ever wanted. Just happiness at the tip of your finger.
Damn. The gods will not save me today.
And Marth kind of just shakes his head and says, we'll have to go back. We'll have to trace his steps. We have to find him. God damn it.
Look down one of left tracks. Neither would Alice.
So what do we
And
do?
neither of us are experienced trackers.
No. And Max kind of just kind of almost just tearing up, just looks at the rest of you and like shakes his head and is desperately trying to think to himself as to what to do. Penelope kind of peeks open her room because she sees that people are talking, and Max kind of just goes over to the doorway and just kind of holds it and says,
Don't worry, we're here, but we just need to have a little conversation before we all head out, okay? I'll let you know when we're good. Just play with your toys in the meantime, okay?
and he closes the door.
Okay.
And Marth kind of looks over to you, Pivot, and says, I guess the only form of good news that we have is that we are in Trell. We might be able to find somebody that could help. If he does inevitably pass away, and we can't find Lookdown in time, we'll be able to bring him back. We just have to find the right people. I know it's awful to think about, but...
Just thinking about what we can do. Conventionally, I don't think anyone in normal Petovia would know of Reddish. If I had not heard of it at all, and you have not known it prior to... Ugh.
And Marth just kind of beside himself goes to open up the doors. Well, goes
What
out
doors,
the door. Goes through the open doorway and sits on the steps just to get some fresh air to think. And he looks at the walls here and sees that there is nobody guarding it, and that the gate is still wide open. And Marth just shakes his head and kind of runs back into the room here and says, "There's nobody guarding the gates.
What?
Not a single person. There's not a single soul on the wall."
That's horrifically abnormal. Doesn't look like there's been a fight, has there?
And Marth kind of just goes back outside.
It goes over to look as well.
Yeah, give me just one last observation.
Maybe. Let's see it. Oh, 17.
It's still pretty good.
Yeah, well, it's a 12. But...
Marth gets an 18, so 19 altogether, I think. He has a decent amount. He might even have a 20 on that. Yeah, you both kind of look and see that there's been no struggle here. There's no blood spilled. It seems like these roads are nice and paved. Doesn't seem like there's been a single ounce of conflict whatsoever. And you can kind of just hear the regular sounds of a town from the inside. It doesn't seem like like this place is deserted by any means.
That's very strange. Do we just
Meanwhile,
want to
you
go
see
in, I
some-
guess?
Meanwhile, you see some girl climbing the side of the castle.
And Marth nods his head and says, Max, stay here with him. Whatever you do, don't let Penelope out. Just try to keep her calm, okay? Try to distract her. We'll be back soon, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
And Marth nods to you and starts kind of making his way quickly.
David follows. Shuffling with his little goblin feet.
And this is kind of, just as like a quick time frame, this is a little bit ahead of kind of where we left off with the rest of the party here. And so you kind of finish up your little shopping venture here at the Emporium. And Valrizzi kind of just looks at you, look down and says,
Well, Alduzi, what do you think? You like your glasses?
So I can actually see through them perfectly fine.
You go to put the glasses on, and yeah, it doesn't seem like they're glasses for vision whatsoever. And people can kind of see from an outside view both of your eyes. But you can only see still out of the one eye.
He just kind of like scratches it where like it hits on the ear. Fine. How it look?
Well, I'd say it looks pretty good. I can see both of your eyes now. Hair's not covering the rest of your face. You're looking pretty sharp.
He looks at the dragon. Nice dragon fang. And then back at Rizzy. Doesn't say anything.
Findle, did you have somewhere you had to be?
Not until the sun starts setting, preferably.
All right, perfect. Well, what do you want to do with the rest of the day? After you meet with the rendezvous with your little
I don't know, Rizzy.
secret admirer.
This is your day out. I will take you back to Reddish.
Oh, no need for that. Why don't we just look around? This place is beautiful.
Yeah. Enjoy your time out. Come on.
And he kind of hops out and just kind of looks around to see what's in the immediate area. And he does see that there is a little lake here. And he says,
Well, I think maybe spending some time in the sun over by the lake might be kind of relaxing.
All right, lead the way.
and he starts to head this way.
And then Alice is gonna say, "Come on, look down."
Ooh, you smart person. I follow.
She knows. She knows. And as you kind of approach the pool here, you see quite a few just kind of like humans, all kind of in a very trail designed. I actually love their design. They look really cool. Just kind of sitting and enjoying. It seems like there's a couple on this side just kind of sitting at the edge of the water. And then there's This one lonely person over here kind of just like watching. Probably wishing that he had somebody. And Valrzy kind of just gets to the edge of the water here and dips his hand into it, and it is kind of nice and cool.
Alice is gonna go towards the water and sit down.
Look down, goes and looks at his reflection.
You look kind of right in the reflection of the water, and there's quite a few people, or sorry, these couple of people just kind of were having a nice moment, look over to you, look down, and you not for nothing, look a lot better than you used to,
I'm
right?
so cleaned up. What?
You look very good. That being said, you still have a lot of terrible things that have been done to your body, and it's very, very apparent. And they can kind of see that you're just like staring with your eyes wide open into the water with these glasses that make it look like you have both eyes open. And there's
part is my eye patch is facing towards them.
yeah.
It's on the right eye.
And they do spot that kind of both Alice and Rizzy are kind of not wearing the regular attire of Trell. Rizzy in a suit and Alice in her regular kind of get-up. And they kind of see that you're from out of town. And specifically that it's looked out. And the guy kind of just like nods and kind of points her a little bit further away. And they scooch down.
Woo. You're a friendly dude.
And as this is kind of happening, Pivid and Marth, you both enter the city right through the gates, and you look around the city to see that there are kind of a couple of people here and there in the city just kind of mulling around, going to church. One over by their houses. There's a couple of like by no means is it kind of abandoned. It seems like there's people out and about today. And
Well, that's a relief to see, at least.
yeah, it's kind of questionable that they have such an elaborate border here, but there's no one guarding it. It's a little bit concerning.
Usually there's a lot more on guard.
Yep.
From the reports, it was usually like 10 people on the walls just staring at the damn road.
And let's see, how far about? So I mean, we're pretty far away here, from pretty much everybody. You kind of just look around. Do see like some shops here, churches. You see a beachfront over here with people at it, as well as just a bunch of general housing. It seems that everybody's just kind of going about their day. There's a park over this way. And down towards the very, very tail end of like the stretch here, you do see indeed the castle that Marth is kind of eyeing and eventually looking to go to.
So what's our business here?
Well, I'm hoping that we can kind of... I'm hoping first and foremost we can find somebody who might be able to help Thames. Some kind of...
There's nothing really to be done. There's not really any cure for wasting. And as far as I know, any treatments I tried on it in the past didn't come into effect.
And Marth kind of comes to the bitter fact that despite having this conversation, which is kind of haunting at this moment for Marth, despite having like this really good basis of a conversation in his mind to go forward with Thames, and almost like the most that they've ever kind of bonded through like a grumpy old man's conversation together. that he may now have to kind of proceed forward, the possibility of not having him there. And Marth kind of looks over to you, Pivot, and says,
Well,
we have to meet with Vinet Peng. He's, one of the twin regals of Trell. And from living here previously and just being able to read up on it beforehand, Pivot, you would know kind of like the basic government structure of Trell. There's two different leaders who are called the Twin Regals, and it is kind of it's like a lottery system in a sense that somebody's picked to be the next Regal. And there's no opting out of it. In fact, when people opt out of it, they find it as like a more reassuring sign that they'll probably make a good Regal. And and the last Regal in Vipint that you do remember, who was there while you were still here, was Vinet Peng, who was a Scalecoat. They lived for a very long time.
Well, lead the way.
Thank you. If this is uncomfortable for you, I
Just
understand.
Go.
Thank you. And they begin heading down the path here. And as you kind of just begin heading down the path, you do see various citizens that are kind of just getting out of church. Let's see here. Various kind of citizens getting out of church. Watching Marth and Pivot kind of walk together down the street, and you get very, very several just dirty looks and glares. Some of them kind of look away as you're just kind of walking down the path in disgust.
Pivot keeps his back straight and his head high as he's going down the path.
You're welcome, by the way.
Fuck off.
Just saying. And you guys got it
Thames is gonna
pretty
die
easily.
because you weren't there.
Thames is gonna die because Thames did some weird shit, okay?
Also true, but also you're not there.
The stars, how you say, there's an eclipse of the stars. They're not aligning today. You kind of get right about here, and you do see this kind of one human girl who's just sitting on kind of the steps to her door, and she just kind of eyeballs you as you're walking along. Doesn't really say anything to you, doesn't really give you like a glare, but just notices that you're getting closer to the kind of castle. And she just like sees that you're not stopping and goes, "Oi!"
Pivot gives no attention unless Marth does.
Marth like holds himself very high and has Didamia very close to his side, very much so present to see, and pays her no mind. Continues walking. And you get right about here, and there are two royal guards, massive Selenians. One of them kind of a sleeker build, and then another one who is very, very bulky. And they both kind of open up the gate and come through to stand guard right in front of you both. And Marth doesn't kind of ready himself. He just kind of raises up Didamia and says, "I'm here to speak with Vinet Peng. As you can see,
I'm Marth Silmats, the Patovian prince, and now it's king. You'll let me through, or we'll let ourselves through. I have several thousands of men waiting just outside your exposed gate at the southern part of your border. Should you not let me through to have a conversation with him? I'm a pretty agreeable person, but my men are pretty rowdy. They might not take too kindly to Trail shutting us out 52 years ago. So I'll let you decide. Get Vinit Pang, or we can have a conflict. And we'll see who can outmuscle who. But surely, I would think that Vinit Pang would be very unhappy to hear that his borders were not secured. And this is actually a reputation checkpoint. This is a reputation checkpoint of 2. But because you guys do not have a reputation of 2, they do not know anything or any sort of what's happening in Patovia. They know nothing about you. You guys are just like local little town heroes. And this rattles them very badly. So actually failing this check is a very good thing. And this one kind of looks over to the beefy guard, and he walks into the manor. This one stands guard and says nothing to you.
Marth just kind of giving him a dead stare.
Yeah, nice. And Marth sees that you're doing this and gives just a very very big smile. Not like a oh man, thanks dude, but like a that's right, bitch, go fetch him. And after quite a few minutes, he arrives back. Oops. He arrives back and kind of stands out of the way for you to come through. Marth begins kind of walking forward, and I'm assuming you're probably pretty close by.
Yep.
You get to about here, and the guard kind of steps in front of you, Pivot.
Is there a problem, Knight?
He looks you up and down and like very disgusted. And go ahead and just roll me an intimidation.
Oh my, we love those flat rolls. 5.
He's very much so seems spiteful, and just does not really want to take any sort of order from you. And Marth looks at him and says, he'll be coming with me. And he kind of just steps out of the way, very reluctantly, and lets you through. And you head into the manor. And, whew. You know what, Chad? I'll leave it up to you. Do you wanna keep going for a little bit? Do you wanna keep going, or do you wanna leave it off right here? We'll let the fates decide. This will probably be the first and ever, maybe the last time that I ask Chad these types of things. It's a special occasion.
It's an occasion, all right.
Come one, come all, we need to know.
Fate.
Who's at their PC and not just listening from their bed?
Get up,
That's the problem, isn't it?
Hey.
Get up, get up, get up.
You know, I
Drop
think
bombshell?
I think we leave it off
Do you?
there tonight. I think we leave it off.
Therefore
there
you
tonight.
are?
For once, I would actually prefer that.
Yeah, I think this is a good spot. I think this is a very good spot. So I will see all of you next Friday. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. We had a very horrifying kind of episode happen here.
A lot has kind of happened. I didn't actually know that Thames was gonna work on that right away. I was actually kind of shocked. And yeah, that led to a very sad and hopeless situation, but a lot of very good RP, I will say. So join us next Friday to see how Marth and Pivid's meeting with Vinit Pang goes. See what happens with El Doozy, Valrizzi, and Alice here, as they are kind of just relaxing for the day before heading, before Alice has to execute what she kind of needs to do, what her father has commanded. But yes, same time next Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. I also want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, who we're partnered up with, Starforge PCs. We had just kind of reached a partnership with them. They've been very, very gracious in kind of reaching out to me. And if you are wanting to get yourself a very, very high-end, great PC, these PCs are out of this world, super, super good. So click that link in the description if you are in need of some wonderful technology. And what else? What else we got? Yes, if you are enjoying the stream, make sure to hit a follow. We will be, like I said, streaming this next Friday. If you are enjoying it and want to support us, !Patreon in the chat. We'll pop up the Patreon for you. You can support me and my artist Tori Kuno directly through there. At $200, which we are very close to, by the way, we will be doing a cosplay, a Tom Kench made cosplay. I'm also coming up with a couple of other fun, creative things for future goals. But once we reach that one, we'll take it one step at a time. Once again, thank you to all the viewers for watching. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your evening. And as always, my friends, my Dungeoneers, stay beautiful.